Welcome to another Tuesday night shiur. It's good to see everyone. This shiur should be b'hatzlacha for the people that sponsored, which was anonymous, and all the ravakim, all the single guys and girls around. Bifrat Gabriel Chai ben Uven V'Leah, and a couple others. I just forgot the name at the moment. And everyone here, of course, everyone here more or less is single. This week's parasha Tetzaveh.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Hazak ve'ematz. Parasha Tetzaveh is a very, very interesting parasha. You know, these are the parashiot that people usually, they skip. They don't want to. For people, it's usually boring. The building of the Mishkan, the clothes of the Kohanim. Yeah, it's very detailed. It's very, people don't care. Like, when did God become an architect or a fashion designer? Like, who cares? Yallah. Who cares what the Kohanim wear? Who cares what was the size? But people don't know that through understanding the building of the Mishkan and the clothes of the Kohanim, you can understand the whole purpose and the whole hishtalshalut of how the world was created. Please eat Misha. That's how the beauty of Hashem's construction. And today we're going to talk about certain details that the Kohen Gadol used to wear. The Kohanim used to wear 4 specific white garments. And the Kohen Gadol used to wear 8. 8 garments. It was a very special clothes that he wore. And it wasn't just white. But before we start, I want to say that we just passed the yahrzeit of Moshe Rabbeinu. Baruch Hashem, this year we have 2. And I told the kids in the yeshiva, for the next yahrzeit that's coming up, because this year we have 2 Adars, take advantage and seize the moment. Why? Who's the only person in the world that purposely we don't know where he's buried? Moshe Rabbeinu. Purposely Hashem told the people that they shouldn't go to see where he was going to be buried. Why? Because they said if they would know where he would be buried, they would daven by his grave, and everything that they would daven for would come true, and they would worship who? They would worship Moshe, and they wouldn't worship Hashem. So imagine such a great day. The person that took the Jews out of Egypt, of course it was with Hashem's power and so on and so forth. He, ba'atzmo b'chvodo, on that day to pray for anything that you could, is the greatest thing. You have to seize these opportunities to pray. The next time that his yahrzeit is going to come about, don't forget another 5-10 minutes. Anything that you think that can never happen, because Moshe did the impossible. No, he took a nation of slaves and he made them into a nation of kings. No, who thinks that's even possible? So the next yahrzeit that's coming about, don't forget to sit and to read a little Tehillim, pray for yourselves for self-growth, pray for your family, pray for your future. You should get married, should so on and so forth. You should gradually go into Torah mitzvot, but slow steps, not too fast, because if you go too fast, you're bound to crash. There's black ice on the road that we don't see, that we reach and we crash. So always slow. Don't be fanatic. That's my famous line. I always tell everyone, don't be fanatic. You smoke on Shabbat, a whole pack of cigarettes. Cut every week 1 cigarette down. Don't worry. At the end of the day, you're gonna keep Shabbat. If you do everything in one shot, you're gonna throw away everything. Throw away everything that you can imagine. Slow steps, slowly. You made my day. I see you. I feel happy. Now, to the shiur I just started. We said that the Kohen had how many clothes? 4. The Kohen Gadol had 8. Now there are 2 specific clothes that is really considered as one, which we're going to realize is going to be a very interesting concept right now. We're going to get into how they're so different but yet so alike. And what are they? One of them is the ephod, and the other one is the choshen. What is the ephod and what is the choshen? Rashi, if you bring down in the pasuk in the Aliyat Shniya in the Torah, he brings down in this week's parasha that the ephod was a garment from the waist on the bottom, and it had 3 strands. The way it was made, it had 3 different strands. 4 if you add the precious metal. It had a tichelet, which means blue. It had a turquoise color and a purple kind of color. And in that, they weaved a piece of gold, long string of gold, and they put these 4 things, and like that, they made the clothes of the Kohen Gadol. Beautiful, no? Just imagine how beautiful such a clothes look like. I'm thinking about it, I'm already feeling wow. Now, Rashi writes down, nowhere in the Torah does it say how this clothes look like. We have a Kabbalah from Rashi. The Kabbalah means a Mesorah. That Rashi went outside, and while he was learning the sugya, he asked Hashem, listen, reveal to me what does this mean? And Rashi writes something very interesting, that this ephod is the way the princesses used to dress. As the princesses, what's going on, Rashi? What happened to Shmirat Einayim? What's going on? So there was a certain clothes that the woman used to wear when they used to ride horses, that they should keep themselves still covered even though they're riding the horse. It was a certain kind of like apron, but it was towards the back. So when she should sit on the animal, it shouldn't be shown her body. Rashi says that the Kohen Gadol used to also wear something like that. Okay. And this ephod used to connect to the choshen. What's the choshen? The Kohen Gadol used to wear a bracelet that had on it all the 12 tribes. All the 12 tribes, and it had to be, where did it have to be placed? On the chest, on the heart of the Kohen. And it had 2 golden rings, and it used to be connected to the ephod. The ephod is very interesting constructed. It looked like a blouse, like that. In the front it was open. In the back, like towards the back, like suspenders, a halfway suspender goes until here, till the shoulder, and from this shoulder there was the rings of the choshen, and they used to connect to the bracelet that the Kohen Gadol used to wear. And what does it say in the Torah? It's a mitzvah lo ta'aseh, a mitzvah lo ta'aseh. If a Kohen Gadol wears these 2 clothes separately. Imagine, a Kohen Gadol has a separate mitzvah and identity on himself if he wears these 2 things on his own. Now we're gonna understand. Now we're gonna get into the depth. Why is this so important? You know, it's a very famous question. Why can these 2 things be separated? Memela, they're 2 different clothes. In reality, the brass plate, and the blouse, in a sense, they're 2 different clothes, right? So why can't they be separated? We have to understand the deeper meaning behind it. And in the Torah, there's always a deeper meaning. And it's not for no reason that this certain subject, this subject of the construction of the clothes of the Kohen Gadol, falls in the months that it's only possible to be a leap year. And there's a reason why. You see, the Tehillim, I'm going to get off a tangent a little bit, and I'm going to explain to you why. In Tehillim, in Perek Nun Aleph, that by the Hasidim and by the Sfaradim, I don't know if by the Litvaks, if they have this in their Nusach, in Kriyat Shema L'mitah, whenever you go to sleep, you have to say Shema. But there's also a certain paragraph that we say, Perek Nun Aleph, 51. We read the Tehillim, and in this Perek Nun Aleph, there's a special pasuk. It's pasuk Tet Vav, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see right now. Tet Vav, yes. Pasuk 15. And what does he say in Pasuk 15? Let's read it, and then I'm going to explain to you why I'm bringing this out. From here we see how the Torah is only connected. It's so beautiful. Alamda posh'im darkecha v'chat'im elecha yashuvu. David HaMelech says, I will teach the sinners your ways, and their transgression they will return to you. When did David HaMelech write this? David HaMelech, there's a very big machloket if he fell in the sin of Bathsheba. I'm not going to get into the whole sugya. They said that he slept with a married woman or not, or he forced her husband to go into battle, whatever it is. The Ari says, Chas v'shalom, he never did such a sin. We're not going to get into it. But, he wrote over here, I will teach the sinners, and they will return to you. If you look at the Reshei Tevot, the first letters of that pasuk, Aleph, Pei, Daled, Vav, is ephod. The blouse that the Kohen Gadol used to wear is the same initials of the first 4 words in that pasuk. That, what I just told you now, put it aside for a second. You're going to see how it's all connected right now. Why in this week, only in these 4 parashiot can come Rosh Chodesh Adar and become a leap year? Last week I started to talk about a leap year, but I'm sorry I didn't explain it. Today I'm going to explain it. You see, a leap year means there is a double Adar, 2 months, 13 months in the year. Why? The Jewish people go by which calendar? The solar or the lunar? Both. The Goyim, the Muslims, go by the lunar. That's why Ramadan can be 1 year in the summer, and the next year can be in the winter. How that works, I don't understand. But the Christians go by the sun, but they divided their years into 12, and sometimes they add a 13. Why? Because I'm not going to get into it. If you saw my shiur on Christianity, you'll understand why. Because they need their holiday to be in the time of the winter, like that they do all their avodah zarah. We're not going to get into it right now. But the Jews, it says, the Jews, I never say what my topic is. I say it at the end. The Jews have to go by both. How does that make sense? The Torah says you should follow the sun. But then it also says that your holiday should fall on certain seasons. Pesach should fall in the spring. Sukkot should fall in the fall. Shavuot should fall towards the summer. So we cannot go by the sun only. We need to go by both. 29 days, a little astrology. 29 days, the moon makes a full circle around the earth. Some days we add in some months, and some days we subtract. Every 2 years to 4 years, we have to add another month in the calendar. Like that, the days fall in exactly. Now, it's very important to understand this, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, a person, there are 2 kinds of people. There are 2 major kinds of teva, 2 major kinds of people that live in this earth. One, they are like yekis. What's a yeki? Person that has a seder. You know, since the day he was born, since he can remember, he always used a certain toothpaste until the day he dies. He's going to use the same toothpaste. Don't change my structure of life. Every day he eats Cheerios for breakfast. From the age of 5 until the age of 100, he'll eat Cheerios. Leave me alone. I'm good the way I am. Don't bother me. I'm happy. Leave me be. Why do you have to touch me if I'm happy? And then there's another kind of person. Every day has to be something new. One day a Cheerio, another day frosted flakes, then he wants eggs, sunny side, scrambled, and then he wants one day with a hot dog, and he'll go for anything. A person that has less structure, but more, how do we say it? More outgoing. He's a more of an outgoing kind of person. He's a more taking risks, taking chances. Another guy, listen, I like my 9 to 5, my 9 to 5 job, leave me alone. You see, I don't have a 9 to 5 job, that's why. I have a 24-hour job. I like my 9 to 5 job, you leave me alone. I'm happy with my salary. I'm happy with the apartment or the house that I live in. I'm settled.
Fixed and growth mindset, huh?
They're both healthy. They're both normal. It just depends who you are. I'm not telling you to change who you are. If that's the kind of person you are, that's great. Alaini, you should actually embrace it. Because don't try to be somebody else. We live in a society of feminism. The women want to be men. If the women would learn to embrace themselves, they would realize how they are better than men. Simple. There would be less unemployment for men if the women would learn how to give their space to the men. Women make more money than men because men say it's not worth it. Let them work already. They want to work. Go work. The women destroy their own society. The rate of people, not the rate, statistically, a community, the community that has the most violence, unfortunately, it's not because something's wrong with them, is the Black and Hispanic community. And why is that? Because majority of them don't grow up with who?
Parents.
With a father. Majority of them don't have a father figure. Someone that doesn't have a father figure doesn't know the derech of Chaim. He doesn't know between right and wrong. So again, there's yesh veyesh. You have to know how to sustain your life. So there are two kinds of people. There's one, how we said, he has a certain structure of his life. You leave me alone. I do this all my life. This is my route. And there's another person that always wants different. Always. He needs different. Different is his life. And who are these two kinds of people? There's a tzaddik, a righteous person, which he always does what's right. He doesn't know what's wrong. Wrong doesn't exist in his vocabulary. He's considered like the sun. He's always shining. Always. He's always up in the sky. And then there is the ones that I fall in that category. Which is who? Simple people. People that strive to be better. Half of the month they're shining. Half of the month they're not shining. They have ups. They have downs. That's the kind of people most people are. The moon is a fantastic creation of God. How is it fantastic? There is no years in moon. Moons don't have years. They have months. A sun has years. A full circle, not a full, but whatever a moon does in a month, a sun does in a year by orbiting the world. It needs to do 28 years in order for the sun to do a full circle around the earth. You know that? Or the earth going around the sun, whatever it is. I'm talking about in our vision, in the human vision. In the human vision, not in the worldly vision. Like it says in Yoshua, that Yoshua said that he told the sun to stop. He should have told the earth to stop. It's a famous question that everyone has. Right? No, it's the Torah talks in our understanding. We don't see that the world is going around the sun. We see that the sun's going around us. There are two kinds of people. The righteous and the ones that try. You see, when the Kohen Gadol wore his one garment, which was really two, what was he really doing?
Yeah, but they're both good essentially.
What was he really doing?
One is already righteous.
What was he really doing? He was connecting two different identities. He was taking the people that are wicked, the day-to-day people, which connect to the ephod, which is the lower garment clothes. And he was taking the tzaddik, which has to be towards the lev, which is connected to the yechida of the ruach, which we're not going to get into depth. And he put the both on and he said they can never come off. Why? Because even though one is a tzaddik and one is a rasha, you need both to make the world sustain. You need both identities in the world in order the world to continuing to go. That's the power of the Kohen Gadol. So when someone says, why does it make a difference what the Kohen wore? Did you know that the Kohen was really talking to me and you? Did you know that the Kohen was wearing the clothes like me and you? Now I'm gonna not finish, but I'm gonna add a certain pshat. I heard this pshat. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't breathe for at least 30 seconds. I was shocked. Everyone has this question. What's this question? Moshe Rabbeinu, he came down from the mountain. What did he see the Jewish people do? The Egel HaZahav, they were doing idol worship. What's the first thing that he did? If you leave the room, you're not going to understand the pshat. What's the first thing he did? He took the luchot and he broke it. But why? Why did you break it? That's the only identity that God made. You know, the Gemara says on Masechet Shabbat that the luchot was an actual piece that God made. The letters were in and out. You can see the same letters. Why would you break it? Moshe, take it and put it away. What's your problem? I heard an unbelievable pshat. Unbelievable pshat. I'm saying it, I'm getting goosebumps.
Pshat is an answer.
A pshat is a chidush. A pshat is a thought. I tell you who I heard it from. I heard it from, I wrote it down. Okay. From the Kamarna Rav. From the Kamarna. The Gemara Masechet Shabbat says as follows. A person, when he's angry and he breaks a vessel, he's considered what? An Oved Avodah Zarah. He did idol worship on that time. Moshe Rabbeinu saw the Jews do idol worship. What did he say to himself? He said, I'm their leader. They did Avodah Zarah. How will I ever be able to pick them up? I need to reach their level in order to pick them up. What did he do? He took the luchot and he broke it. Now that's a leader. He said, those are my people. I'm going to break it. I'm going to go with them down to the pits. I'm going to show to people who's really the leader. It's very easy to be a manhig, a leader of all righteous malachim. Oh, all my students are such tzaddikim. It's very hard to be a leader full of wicked people. Full of people that transgress 24/7. It's very hard. The word tzibur, community, stands for what? Tzadikim, benonim, vegam rashayim. Tzadik bet vet, avav vet. Tzadik starts for the tzadikim. The bet starts for the benonim. And the vav and the resh stands for ve rashayim. To be a real leader, you must have every kind of person in your community. It's very easy to come to a community that they all respect you. It's extremely hard to have the task of Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's the leader of the Jewish people. Tell me, you heard such a chidush? Moshe Rabbeinu, the one that's his yortzeit just passed. The leader of Am Yisrael. He was willing to put. He was a complete human being. He was complete. He was willing to start from the beginning in order to take out the people. To who can we say that? To who can we say that? It says in the Perkei Avot, your Rebbe has to be looking like a malach, like an angel. Morai Rabotai, what does that mean? What does a malach mean? Did we ever see an angel? No. I'll tell you what it means. The same way how an angel cannot do what it's not told, your Rebbe has to do everything to help you, even though it's not told. Even though it looks like it's impossible, he has to go down if he needs to the lowest level in order to take you out. That's a true Rebbe. And that's why you guys are here today. And that's why I'm here today. I'm not saying this to praise myself. I'm saying this to give myself chizuk. There's no problem for a manhig, as small as he is or as big as he is, to sometimes give himself a tap in the back. A manhig is someone that leads, someone that has a congregation, or someone that teaches. You are like my kids and the people that are watching. And I have the responsibility to you, and you have the responsibility to me. Kol Yisrael Aravim Zerazeh. We are all in this world, we're all connected, intertwined, we like it or not, that's what it is. And that's the key of Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's the key of who? The Kohen Gadol. The Kohen Gadol said, listen, my coat, it looks very funky. It looks very nice. But remember, it represents all the Jewish people. All the Jewish people. Imagine what it is to be a Kohen Gadol. The responsibility of to be such a big manhig. I'm going to finish with this, the beginning of the parasha. I was actually learning the mimer of the Rebbe, of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, actually with my Rebbe. Tavshin Nun something, I think, or I don't remember the exact year. I'm sorry. And on the pasuk, Va'ata titzavet bnei Yisrael veikchu lecha shemen zayit zach. You should take shemen, oil, zayit of an olive, zach, pure. Alright, Rabbatai, what's going on? What is it? The Torah doesn't write anything for no reason. What's the grammatical mistake here? Veikhu shemen zach. You should take pure oil, right? What is this? Pure olive oil. Wow, what's going on over here? The Gemara says a very interesting in Masechet Menachot. The Gemara says that olive, if you eat it, what does it cause? 40 years, if I'm not mistaken, 40 years of forgetfulness. An olive, if you eat an olive, the Gemara says an olive, that's what happens to you. Shh, Boris. If you eat olive oil, the exact opposite happens. You get 40 years of knowledge, of remembering. Now let me ask you a question. How can something which is the same thing can cause the exact opposite? It's an oxymoron. An olive is a pure oxymoron, Rabbi Isai.
Paradox.
It doesn't make sense. How can something give you so much, it can help you get so much knowledge, but in the same time, it can help you, not help you, it gives you no knowledge. And that's the avodah of a Jew. And that's our job in this world. Our job, we come to this world like olives. All of us. We are like olives. We're born like a rock. No chokhmah. From something that everyone thinks which is the impossible, we have to bring the Torah out. We live in this world not to be selfish, but to be selfless. We live in this world to help others. You think I enjoy not being home on a day-to-day schedule? You think my brother or my father or all of my colleagues that are in this sect of business or in this sect of line of work like not to be at home to spend time with my family? No. We don't like that part. But we know we have to do it. We know we came to this world with a certain responsibility. And you also came with a responsibility. And also you. And every single one over here came with a responsibility. To ask yourself for 80 years of your life, what is that responsibility, is wasting your time. Whatever you feel to do is correct. Any way you can bring out the presence of God, that's what you have to do. If you think to go to college is bringing your presence of God, then go to college. But no, you have to go with a kippah and tzitzit. But no, you have to have your tefillin with you in all times in case someone needs to wear tefillin. Why? Because that's your mission in life. That is the greatness of our living. I'm going to finish with this last thought. A Kohen, even though he's a male, he represents both male and woman. Modesty, a way of dressing, we learn from who? From the Kohanim. Kohanim couldn't go to work in the Beit HaMikdash with any clothes. They couldn't. If you look at the Gemara and Masechet Ta'anit, the second Perek, the Kohanim didn't work so much in the Beit HaMikdash. You should know that. There was a lot of different families. Not every day did did the same person go to the Beit HaMikdash. They used to go twice or 3 times a year. That family used to work in the Beit HaMikdash. There were a lot of different mishmariot, as we learned, right, in the Gemara. There wasn't one family of Kohanim. There were hundreds of families of Kohanim. Everyone wanted to work in the Beit HaMikdash. There was always a reserve, and there was always the front line of the day. Now, the Kohen couldn't come with junky clothes. The Kohen actually had a special place for his clothes. Imagine a doctor is going to do surgery and he doesn't scrub, or he doesn't wear his surgical clothes. What are they going to do? They're going to throw him out, or they're going to sue him for big money. Why? You don't go into an operational room with your dirty clothes. Bacteria, diseases. Same to a soldier. Any person in a certain work field. Same to every boy and girl that's Jewish, or that's human in a way. In humanity, a girl cannot walk half naked on the street. It's not normal. What are you, a dog? What are you showing off to? I'm a piece of fresh meat. Please eat me. It's disgusting. I don't know what's so funny. It's no moral. You have no self-respect, and they want feminism. Have some first self-respect. People will respect you more. You can't come immodest, not only to a shul, to a school, to a work, to a date, to anything. The way you present yourself, that's the way people look at you. And so too a Ben Torah. I always get the same question, why in yeshivas there are dress codes? And I'll tell you why. Because you get looked more respectful when you come in with a certain way of dressing. And I'll give you an example. I have some kids in my class that come dressed every day. They look like angels. They can be the youngest kids in the school. Everyone looks at them like they're wow. And you got a guy which is older, which is smarter, by far much smarter than them. But he comes like a junk, and people treat him like 5 years old. You have to learn how to represent yourself. That doesn't mean now in one day you take your whole wardrobe, you throw out all the not Sanua stuff and you put Sanua stuff. No, you're going to kill yourself. One step at a time. Shabbat. And then every Friday, every Wednesday, you go slowly. And why am I telling you this? I'm saying this because I would tell this to my daughter. I will tell this to my niece. I will tell this to my cousin. I will tell this to my wife. I will tell this to anybody. Because I have a responsibility to you. If you're in the shiur and you're watching, I have to preach this. Not that I want to, I have to. It's my responsibility. And also to you guys, you have to go with a kippah outside. Are you ashamed to wear a kippah? I'm not ashamed, it's not comfortable. A lot of things in your body parts sometimes could be uncomfortable. You don't cut it off or something like that. You don't cut off your ear if it gets too cold, or your nose when it starts to leak. Why should you not wear a kippah? What are you ashamed of? Nothing to be ashamed of. You have to go with your head high, wear a kippah. People will respect you more. I'm going to finish with this story of Rav Moshe Feinstein. I went to his yeshiva for high school for a short time. Thank you. Please. There was a man. There was a man in the days of the Omer. We know, what do we know? In the days of the Omer, we don't shave. We're not allowed to take haircuts. Men are not allowed to take haircuts. They're never allowed to touch their beard, but that's beside the point. But hair on their head, they're for sure never allowed. Now, thank you so much. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nihya b'dvaro.
Amen.
Men are not allowed to take haircuts. So there was this man, he just finished law school, if I'm not mistaken, and he or accounting, whatever it was, and he really wanted. He got a job interview for one of the biggest firms in New York. You know how excited that is? I don't think you understand such an excitement. Whatever you dreamed for since you've been a kid, you're getting that opportunity right now. So he goes to Rav Moshe Feinstein and says, "Listen, Rav Moshe, I look like a baboon. Let me, clean up, clean shave, nice, galstuk. Come in, nice, presentable." What did Rav Moshe Feinstein say? "You have no heter. You're not allowed to take it off." Now, this guy goes home. He's thinking. Let's be honest. What would we do?
Take it off.
At least not me. I never shave. But what would most people do?
Take it off. Shave.
It's once time in opportunity in my life I'll ever have this. I'm gonna take it off. Hell with it. He goes to the interview, Morai Rabotai, listen carefully. He goes to the interview. And who is interviewing him? A religious Jew. And the Jew said, You don't worship your God to your fullest. How do I know that you'll be loyal to me? And he said, thank you, but please don't let the door behind you hit you. And he lost his job opportunity that he'll never get again. Why? Because he thought he was better than God. He thought he is in charge of the game. Little did he know, he doesn't run the world, Morai Rabotai. Who runs the world? Hashem ba'atzmo b'chodo. And this should be a moral and a lesson to all of us here, both boys and girls. That what? Don't try to change your religion to what you want. Don't be a pick and choose Jew. Do what's written. If it says to keep Shabbat, you keep Shabbat. If it says to do what's right, you do what's right. Oh, you're not comfortable? Tough love. You want to get married one day, guys? It's not so comfortable all the time. Why do you still want to do it? Because that's the right thing to do. Keeping the Torah, which means, the Torah in translation means a guide, a book of a guidance, an instruction. If you keep the instruction of God, I promise you, He'll make your life happy. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.
Amen.